All right, we back with the San Francisco 49ers. This is my dad's favorite team in the whole football league. So let's just there's a couple of things we can talk about here. Sit down. Okay. So talk about the departures, and then we'll talk about who they brought in, and we'll talk about Jimmy G. That's all it is. So Raheem Morris is gone. It's been a couple years. He was the lead running back on that Super Bowl team. Richie James is gone. Mohamed Sanu, I didn't even know they had him. Sherfield, Lakin Tomlinson, Alex Mack retired. He's in almost 40. Arden Key, Kentavious Street, Josh Norman. It was Tom Jarquiski Tart. That's Brody coming to us. Quan Williams, excuse me. I said Quan Alexander. Then there's one more team left. We almost there. We're almost home, but not so fast. They re-signed Jermichael. Oh, they signed Jermichael Hasty from Baylor. That's Brody. Ray McLeod from Clemson. Tyler Croft. So none of these deals are like crazy. Like Ray McLeod and Charvarius Ward and George Odom. Those are the only three deals that are like longer than a year. And maybe longer than 2 years. Because, yeah, Charvarius Ward from Kansas City at 3 for 40 is not bad for him. I think that saves him a little bit of money. Robert Kimdichie was the number one high school player coming out of high school like almost 10 years ago at this point. And he's just not lived up to that. He went to Baylor. I remember him. Let's go through their draft picks real quick. I pulled up the draft picks, and one guy I wanted to mention was Danny Gray. And then, like, one of the first highlights on this video was him catching his, like, 60, 70-yard touchdown here.
They run Goodson off the right side. He got hit behind the line of scrimmage for a TFL there.
Hold on. Here we go.
1 for 2 on third down the first series with the run by Sermon. Going to take a deep shot down the left sideline, wide open out there. Danny Gray makes the catch, stays in bounds. Trey Lance to the
That's exactly what I wanted to show. From Trey Lance to Danny Gray. So that's, that's their team right there. So I mentioned Jimmy G because it's inevitable. They gotta go. Not they gotta go, but they're gonna trade him. My only issue with them trading Jimmy G is he took y'all to the Super Bowl, and not like, oh, you owe him this. It's kind of like, or the NFC Championship. It's kind of like, okay, so if Trey Lance never gets to the NFC Championship, it's like, okay, what did you give up? Was it worth giving that up? I'm sorry. Was it worth giving up Jimmy G, for Trey Lance? And that's going to be the biggest question. Because Jimmy G has performed. I'm not saying he's like Patrick Mahomes level, like good, but he's done his due diligence. We're happy to keep Jimmy G. I mean, but he got like 1 year left on his deal. Let me see. In his NFL career, his college career, he had 5,000 passing yards. I didn't know that. 5,000 passing yards with 53 touchdowns. It's crazy. I don't care who you are. So, 9-6, 3,800 yards, 20-12. Got to get that interception number down, but not bad. He's 4-2 in the playoffs. Now he didn't play like 172. And like it was more so running the ball and everything. Like once the season got late, they started running the football, started being able to run the football. And I'm not gonna say like it was the same situation with Carson Wentz was like, oh, we can't throw the football. They could have, but they just didn't need to. But the way the offense was formulated with moving Debo to running back and things of that nature, so it helped everybody out doing that. But excuse me. 131 in Green Bay. It's kind of like, okay, I can see what fans would want more. So I just never thought that they should have went and drafted Trey Lance, but they did. So Trey Lance was number 3 overall pick. Now I didn't know his physicals until my friend Terrence read him out. I didn't know he was 6'5", pretty much 6'5". I didn't know that. I thought Buddy was like 6'2", could throw like Bryce Young or something. Like he's 6'5". 220. It was a big quarterback. So there's that. So I mean, maybe he could step up and be elite. He didn't show anything like crazy in the 2 games that he played in. So it's like, okay. Yeah, 249. Yeah, 157. Yeah, 157. And then was it 249 and 192. So he didn't do nothing like crazy, but he did something. So it'll be time will tell when they'll hand over the keys to Trey Lance. It'll probably happen in the next year, 2 years maybe. It depending on if they bring back Jimmy G and depending on if he want to be there. But there's been recent rumors about Jimmy G getting traded to Cleveland, which doesn't make much sense for Cleveland's sake. Because like, okay, you don't have a lot of assets now. You better give up more assets for a quarterback that's temporary for like a year, maybe 2. Not even 2, for a year. When Deshaun Watson come back, you're going to be paying him a lot of money just to be riding the bench. So, I don't know. I don't think that's smart on their behalf. So, there's that. For the season, let's do a season breakdown for them. So, they started off good and then kind of fell off. Green Bay at home, last second field goal. Shouldn't have lost that one. Shouldn't have lost that one. I ain't going to say shouldn't have, but, Oh, Jimmy G wasn't there. Jimmy G was out. The Colts in a rainy game. They beat. I remember that game. Like it was a long run from Debo. Again, Arizona. They beat LA. They have LA's number. They've had LA's number for the last couple years. Jacksonville, Minnesota. They got swept by Seattle this year. They beat Cincinnati, much needed win at Cincinnati. They beat Atlanta. They lost to Tennessee. They lost to Tennessee? I don't remember that game. Lost to Tennessee. They beat Houston. This was the game that got them in the playoffs right here. They beat them. Went to Jerry's World. Beat them in a blunder in the fourth quarter that has been shown repeatedly, and I'm tired of seeing it. They went to Green Bay and did it. They overcame the MVP. And I just recorded a video of Green Bay earlier today. So they overcame that. And then just ran into, the defending champs. That's simple. Nobody played bad. It's just a matter of play calling towards the end of the game. So, I mean, that was that. They got to get over the hill. They've been stuck at, like, the NFC Championship. Like the playoff, they're a playoff team, but they can't get over the hill of being a Super Bowl team, and they need to get over the hill of being a Super Bowl team. And Deebo Samuel just came back. Actually, I forgot to mention that. And this is another case of like when I was talking about Kyle Pitts. I understated how valuable he really is to this team. Moving to the damn running back. Yeah, he had 59 carries at the end of the year for 8 touchdowns. He had more touchdowns running the ball than receiving. So he finally came back. He requested a trade, and he signed a 3-year, $73 million contract extension with $58 million guaranteed. So I don't know why that's not here. But he is really understated, like how good his last season was. But I remember him saying he wanted to be used more as a wide receiver. I'm not a. You referred to reports of him not wanting to play running back is false. Okay. I remember seeing that original report. At this point, they're just making stuff up. Okay. So that answered my question. Reportedly doesn't want to be a dual receiver. See? Okay, there we go. April. See, I remember this what happened. Reportedly. So I was like, I remember seeing that report. Reporter's job is to make up. Yeah. So. Yep. So he's probably gonna go back to splitting it a little bit. They're gonna get the ball in his hands as much as possible. So I'm happy for him. I'm happy he got his money. That's the most important thing to me. He got his money, so that's that. Kyle Shanahan, you got Sean McVay's number, but you better get it figured out in the playoffs, man. I want to see my dad's team win a Super Bowl sooner rather than later. I need to see it. Like, come on, son. Yeah, get it done. Get it done for Pops, so. But that's all I got. We are down to the very last team. The very, very last team. And then the only thing I gotta do is put these videos together. And it's the Seattle Seahawks. So I didn't do the season breakdown. I'm sorry. Let's do the season breakdown real quick. So they could end up with the same record they did this year. Yeah, Vegas, Washington. They gotta play the NFC South, so they can win all of the NFC South games other than versus Tampa Bay. No, they can still win that game. They can beat Miami. They can beat the Chargers. They're gonna split between them and the Rams. I don't know about. They at home versus the Chiefs, so they can beat the Chiefs. They can beat Chicago. They will probably beat Chicago. They'll probably beat Seattle twice. Only games I'm really concerned about for them is one of the Rams games, the Denver game, Arizona, one of the Arizona games. So it'll be a mixed bag. But I can see them going the same record or like 11-6. Yeah, that's about right. But yeah, that's it. On to the next, last, final. We'll say thank you for watching. I love you. Bye.